So this is a real-world connection to VRC of real-world traffic. Now, it's controlled via this handy-dandy little file. If we go ahead and open the File Manager, there's this file on GitHub that you can download. Now, you have to be a member of the VATSIM community to be able to connect. But if you go to this file here, you're going to get and download this thing called VRC Live Traffic Master. And I'm just going to kind of do a quick setup because a lot of you have been asking how to get it set up and get it working. So you're going to do the obvious thing. Now, if you're a VATSIM controller, and obviously most of you who are going to be connecting this like this are, you're going to need to have a sweatbox read myservers.txt, and I'll show you how to get there and edit the myservers.txt. So if you don't already have sweatbox on there, that's not a problem. So before we get to how I'm gonna make this work, I'm gonna show you what it looks like once you do. So this is centered over Memphis with a viz range of 150. I've combined 4 sector files, which obviously you're not gonna want to do, but I'm monitoring 4 different sectors. So I've combined Fort Worth, Memphis, Atlanta, and Indianapolis, which you have the normally I just have the class, airspace classification types, and the minimum vectoring altitude for each one. So obviously you got like Atlanta, Greensboro, Tri-Cities, Fort Worth, Memphis, all that fun stuff. So, but right now I have it centered over Memphis with 150 nautical mile viz range. So the first thing you're going to want to do once you download this file is on the GitHub there's going to be a bit of text that you can copy and paste, and what you're going to want to do is copy that. And then once you go to your file manager here, you're going to go to this VRC folder in Documents, and you're going to go to myservers.txt. Now you're going to want to copy this in here, or whatever the most recent version is, and it'll tell you whether you're using Euroscope or VRC. It'll give you specific data text to copy and put in here, but that's all you have to do with VRC. So once you're done with VRC, I'm going to move this off the monitor so you don't see all my files and all that. You're obviously going to download the VRC Live Traffic Master, and once you do that, you're going to go just in here and you're going to put the live traffic exe file in here. Now once you put it in here, you can run it, and obviously it'll open like this. And basically you're seeing, it's pulling real time all these flight plans from 4 or 5 different web services, FlightAware, FlightRadar, RadarBox. Most of the data, however, for military traffic, if you look down by, well, there's no low-level training routes right now, but typically down here during the day you're going to have the low-level training routes on military aircraft, T-6 Texans and T-38 Talons, and most of those fighter jets, I'm sure as you know, are going to be getting pulled from the ADS-B exchange. So to change your airport and your viz range and all that, you're going to go to the config.json file, and all you have to do here is just change your viz range and your airport type in there. Now airport is going to set it to Memphis, and that 150 is going to give me a 150 mile ring around the airport of 150 nautical miles in every direction where I'm going to see traffic. Now it's VRC, and it's not going to like it if you give it a whole lot of viz range, so try to keep it to a minimum, or VRC is not going to enjoy that. Now obviously with 150 nautical mile viz range, you also do get a little bit of extra viz range. Right now I have 146 aircraft shown, so I could probably change to a 200 viz range, but if you do set it to something a little bit too high, it will crash. So it's pretty simple to do this. If you do have any questions on how to get it set up or anything, just let me know. And it's a really cool tool because I can F6 slew any airplane. Now obviously I wish I could do it on ERAM or V-Stars, but the only 2 radar clients it currently supports are Euroscope and VRC. But it is an ongoing project, and we could maybe eventually see these aircraft and configuration files get added to those 2 radar clients. So we'll get to see hopefully things in the future. So like we'll go ahead and just, for an example, F6 slew this UPS 9884. There's his flight plan, MCB, MEV, Hobart 3, going in from New Orleans, squawk 2565, standard time, or scheduled time of arrival, scheduled time of departure, cruise altitude, departure field, and arrival field. It's basically just your regular VRC fields, but it's filled out with real world data rather than VRC VATSIM data. and your weather panels up here will be populated with not VetSim data but real world data. So if you want to populate up there, just do F2 and just add your airport. We'll do University of Oxford, and that'll auto-populate. Altimeter 3046, wind calm, 10 statute miles clear, temperature 1, dew point -2, 3046, and there you go. You can pull the mythosatus. The $ means the AWAS system needs work. As you can see, the clouds are clear, sea level pressure 301, all that. So you can just pull it, and fortunately, as I was getting further and further down this way, and the thing is it depending on the RTEC you pick, obviously, depending on its facility level and controller level, it's going to get progressively more difficult or simple depending on the level. This is a level 11, I think, out of 12. So we get a lot of airplanes in the en route facility, but we don't get that many airplanes as we do get a lot. We are the #1 cargo airport in the world, but we do not, reach by what standards you may consider a really busy airport. We have, obviously an east-west, split for radar, it's kind of split down the middle here. So if we go to, diagrams, there's going to be a whole bunch. So I got 4 different RTECs combined here, and the problem is you may not see that many over here, but then you change your biz range over to Atlanta over here, and then you're going to have a whole bunch of airplanes over here, and you're going to be looking at them there. So if any of you need any help combining sector files, which you're not technically supposed to do, but it's going to completely make a massive text file that's going to take forever to load up, and this sector here takes about 5 or 6 minutes to load sometimes. If there's a whole lot of airplanes, even 150 nautical mile vis range can completely destroy it. But if you're wanting to just watch it as a Tracon, you can set up a Tracon view, and you can change your ceiling here to whatever you want it to be. You can change it to whatever the top of your airspace you're wanting to look at is. So if I wanted to look at the Memphis approach airspace, I could set my range to like 50, and then set my ceiling to 16,000, and then I'm only going to see stuff within the Tracon here, because it's only 77 miles down, and then about 80 miles across. So it's just a big circle, with the exception of the little part down here that goes kind of up and down, which is down here by the Oxford area, which is right there, and that's actually covered by the en route facility. Now here's LBQ. I don't remember what call sign that is. It's a PC-12. I think it's Boutique or something like that. Yeah, I know Boutique flies PC-12s, but as you can see, they've just popped up on the radar. They just disappeared again. So it's pulling from as much data as it can, and obviously sometimes it can have difficulties compiling these servers, and compiling all that data to make one big flight plan or one big display. Sometimes you get duplicate transponder codes, duplicate squawks. So you really have to be wary of that before you start freaking out. You see conflict alerts like up here. These are actually a loss of separation, kinda. It is 700 feet vertical separation, but then again, that is in Kansas City airspace, and I'm pretty sure they don't use recategorized, but that doesn't change tremendously how separation standards work up there. So I'm not really going to judge off of that. Plus, this is only pulling from radar data. This isn't pulling from the real world radar, so it's not going to give you like 100% accurate separation. And even then, if it's not a loss of separation that results in big problems, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Yeah, you're going to get a really loud conflict alert blaring in your ear, but it's not going to be hey, I'm just going to get rid of your controller certs and have a nice day. So if you have any questions about how to set this up, let me know. I've just kind of made this video so people would stop asking me. If you need help compiling sector files, let me know. I can do that too. So yeah, whatever you need help with, I can probably help you with that as well. So just let me know, and I'll help you out with it. It's a lot of fun to watch. Whenever it's not super busy, you can sometimes, if you're lucky, set your biz range all the way up to 300 nautical miles. And then eventually it'll get, overwhelmed with traffic, and then VRC will crash, and you'll slam your head into a table and then fix your thing again. So, it'll be fun. So just keep in mind, it's VRC. Don't push it to the limits. If it were ERAM, it could probably handle the traffic. If it was V-Stars, maybe. But V-Stars, I'd really only trust it doing the view of, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I may try to screw around with it and try to get it to work with VStars. I mean, I could probably take the source code and mess around with it and bend it a little bit and jerry-rig it and turn it into some half-assed thing to work with VStars. So I'll try to. No guarantees. I've managed to break the impossible in the past few days with combining these sector files. I didn't even put them where they were supposed to go. I just slapped them into one text file, and because I got tired of trying to compile them in the right places, so I just slapped them all together, and to my surprise, it actually worked. So, you never know what's going to happen next. So I got it to work. I don't know. Maybe I could get the other things to work. We'll find out. I don't know. But yeah, I'll try to compile. I need to get my hands on the Kansas City Center sector file, and because I've got all these surrounding tier 1 RTECs, and I don't have Kansas City. I will probably not do Houston or Jacksonville, but I don't know. I'll think about maybe adding those in on a separate sector file. And this one right here, it takes long enough as is to load, but whatever. So if you do have any questions, let me know. I'll try to, answer them to the best of our ability. I'm not putting any effort into making this video whatsoever, so just, if you have questions or concerns or comments or whatever, let me know. If you want me to do a one-on-one and help you set this up, I'll be happy to. Just let me know. So, let me know if you want to see some more tutorials or whatever, and I'll set it up to the best of my ability.